Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur. Hello, my name is Elizabeth Plouffe, and welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails. Today is Wise Word Wednesdays, and on Wise Word Wednesdays, I focus on a book or service or online tool that I think is of value to people. And today's a book. We're back to reading. There's been a couple of times where I've done online tools, just because, quite frankly, I haven't been able to get through the book completely. So today I am focusing on Jeffrey Gitomer's The Little Red Book of Selling. It's a cute little book, actually. And I came across this book by accident, complete accident. One of the major places I go to get business books, and I've got everything from, Sean Acor to Gary Vaynerchuk to John C. Maxwell, all over the place. I go to secondhand bookstores, I go to Value Village, I go all over the place. Because there's no point in buying new, to me anyway, unless it's really cool. I did spend full money for Gary Vaynerchuk's Jab, 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 Right Hook, which was worth the investment. But don't discount the opportunity to go into a secondhand bookshop or your local thrift shop and see what's there. Definitely don't pick up just anything. But this one caught my eye, and it even still had, there's a little wrapper that was on the back of the book, and it even still had that on. So somebody either bought it or got given it and just never put the time in, and so their loss is my gain, because this is a fantastic little book. I've already started applying some of this stuff. He's really inspired me to take some of the lessons and put them on my business. Because here's the one thing. If you are an entrepreneur that's listening to this podcast, sales come down to you, my friend. There's nobody else going to do it for you, especially if you're a startup. If you are able to invest in a salesperson, good for you. But from my perspective, as long as you can anyway, you should be the salesperson for your business. You should be the front face. You should be the one out there, making the work happen. And that might seem kind of weird advice, but if it's your business, nobody is going to be as passionate about your business and know as much about your business as you. This absolutely isn't a strategy, especially if it's interfering with your ability to deliver on the product or service. But initially, especially if you're on a shoestring budget and you're bootstrapping the venture, I'm really on the fence about hiring somebody. Definitely of value. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about that one. But anyway, we'll talk about that another day. So today I'm going to focus on the Little Red Book of Selling, 12 and a half principles of sales greatness and how to make sales forever. And I have to confess that I haven't done a lot of reading about sales, which is so stupid because it's what I need to do and it's what I need to get better at. So this little red book, I'm not sure. It was published in 2010, and he does reference within here something about keeping track of leads and this and that in a Palm Pilot. So note to self, when you're writing a book about any kind of service or sales technique or whatever, try and keep your references to tech to a minimum because it can really date your stuff. And I have to confess, when I saw that, I kind of went, is this stuff still applicable? And it absolutely is. I mean, you can see some stuff in here that's Napoleon Hill based. You can see some stuff in here that's, well predates 2010, but is still absolutely applicable. And so the opening cover for this is the sale is defined by the customer. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. Your job as a master salesman is to create an atmosphere where people want to buy. And you'd think that would be simple, but it's actually not. And if you're not trained in sales, it can be really challenging to know how to start and the best things to do. And if you're not trained in sales, you could be dooming your business. If you suck at it and you're really aggressive and you're flipping the 80-20 rule and 80% of your content and conversation is sales, 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 you can be really doing yourself a lot of harm. So I'm really glad I looked into this book. I'm on the Jeffrey Gitomer website. And I have to confess again, a lot of confessing today. I'm not a big fan of the website. It's really busy and really complicated. But the fantastic thing is, in the book, he refers throughout about opportunities to go and get information and additional resources from the website. And I know that's a sales technique. It's an email grab and what have you. But it's definitely worth it. It's definitely a good idea. I've started looking up some of this stuff. I'm relatively new to finishing this book, so I'm still looking to take advantage of what's inside of it. But what it says on here is Gitomer defined. And if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, I apologize. I've watched a few of his videos, but he doesn't really introduce himself or say his name, so that's a bit of a challenge. So a creative on-the-edge writer and speaker whose expertise on sales, customer loyalty, and personal development is world-renowned. Known for presentations, seminars, and keynote addresses that are funny, insightful, and in your face. Real world, off the wall, on the money. Gives audiences information they can take out into the street 1 minute after the seminar is over and turn it into money. I have to agree. This book is really get down to it nitty-gritty, really actionable, which I quite like. I hate books that take forever to get to the point, and yes, you absolutely are enriching yourself by reading the book, but I'd rather have something, especially if it can be potentially bloated and complicated. Just give me the goods. Just get down to it. So the Little Red Book of Selling, the 12.5 Principles of Sales. The titles of the chapters are Kick Your Own Ass, Prepare to Win or Lose to Someone Who Is. Personal branding is sales. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. It's all about value. It's all about relationship. It's not all about price. It's not work. It's network. If you can't get in front of the real decision maker, you suck. Engage me and you can make me convince myself. Best chapter in this book. If you can make them laugh, you can make them buy. Also a really good chapter. Use creativity to differentiate and dominate. Reduce their risk and you'll convert selling to buying. Really good chapter. When you say it about yourself, it's bragging. When someone else says it about you, it's proof. And 10 is up. Resign your position as general manager of the universe. So I'm just going to read to you from a couple of the chapters that really jumped out at me. This is the beginning. So this is about failure and success. What's the difference between failure and success in salespeople? What does it take to become a sales success? I want to be a success. I want to be a success. There is no quick fix, magic wand, or potion that will give you the success you're dreaming for. So what's the secret of sales success? Well, it's not a single secret. It's a secret formula. There is a series of 18.5 principal strategies and actions that will lead you to success. Okay. The secret of sales success are not real secrets. They're fundamental steps that successful salespeople and entrepreneurs have been executing for centuries. These are attributes that high achievers have in common. Here are the 18.5 secrets of success. I don't understand the half thing on a lot of the stuff he does, but I'm assuming there's a point. Differentiator, if you will, on the plethora of tips that get out there. So here's the tips. Believe you can, create the environment, have the right associations, expose yourself to what's new, plan for the day, become valuable, have the answers your prospects and customers need, recognize opportunity, take advantage of opportunity, take responsibility, love that one, take action, make mistakes, love that one too, willing to risk, keep your eyes on the prize, balance yourself, invest, don't spend, very, very true, stick at it until you win, develop and maintain a positive attitude, ignore idiots and zealots. And he says here, also known as pukers. These people will try to rain on your parade, discourage you because they have no parade of their own. Avoid them at all costs. So definitely not new, but definitely gets you thinking. And it's delivered in such a way, as is most of the advice throughout the book, that makes it extremely easy to understand and move forward on. One of the hugest things that I get out of this, which I feel so good that I don't do it, is the people who are sales pukers, where they jump in on you and immediately they just slam you with sales messaging versus the value or actually taking the time to find out about you, which drives me bananas. So I can actually go the other way too much, and this is another cautionary tale. I can actually question people too much, and not questioning them like grilling them, but ask them too many questions so that their alarm goes up a little bit, because it can be a lot. If you're, questioning why somebody's been doing something just to find out how your sales, or your service or product can help them, you definitely have to navigate how much is too much. I'm working on that. So it says here, talk profit and productivity, not saving money. And that's huge, because as soon as you go straight to the price of something, people are checking out. So when you are in a situation where you have to sell your services, what he says about the customer is they do not want to be or need to be educated. They want answers just like you do. They do not want solutions. They want answers. They do not want to take their time to hear about you. If they give you time, it better be about them. Huge. And one of the best chapters in this book, which inspired me to write like 4.5 pages over 70 different types of power questions, was Principle 7, which is engage me and you can make me convince myself. And this was huge for me. I really enjoyed this chapter. And it's an opportunity for you to really fine-tune your pitch and really make sure that you are listening to your customer, that when you are engaging with somebody, you are making sure that they feel heard and understood. And it can really help you determine whether your service or product is appropriate. If you jump right into your sales message and you haven't taken the time to find out, more than likely the person across from you has their feet positioned towards the door, which if you listen to the Sneaky Ship podcast that I do, you'll understand what that means. Inside their head, all that's going on in there is get me away from this person. That's not where you want to be. So he gives you strategies, he gives you ideas, he gives you prompts. You get the opportunity to go again, like I say, and visit the website to get more ideas. I'm just going to find a little free red bit. Here we go. So, want a few real smart questions? Well, since everyone sells something different, I'll give you the lead-ins to the questions and you adapt it to whatever you sell. Fair enough? Go to Gitomer.com, register if you are a first-time user, and enter the words smart questions in the red bit box. And he does this throughout, which I recognize as a sales technique. But most books, when you get them, don't have these add-ons, or they definitely don't make them as easily available, or they make it as a pay more value versus an included value. And that's one of the major things that I got out of this book, is the focus on value of your product versus anything else, versus selling it. Principle 10, reduce the risk and you'll convert selling to buying. And this is one thing that's really huge as well, especially if it's a product where people have to invest a lot of money. There is no point in getting up there and having a huge sales pitch and not demonstrating how your product can be risk-free or not cause them more risk. So for an example, if your product or service is geared at small businesses, but it's $10,000, you see the value in that. I get that. But from a small business owner's perspective, 10 grand is a lot out of your budget for the year to invest in something, especially if you're stuck losing that 10 grand. So what he recommends here in Principle 10 is to take the time to identify perceived risks by your client base and have those answers up front and use that as part of your conversation. You may also be suggesting risk to some people, but they'll appreciate your honesty and your forthrightness and your being prepared, which is another one of his key things, to address those concerns. And if they don't come up, at least you still have the answers ready, and it helps you look at your product or service from a different perspective. So towards the end here, which is one of the huge things that I do with my clients, is asking a customer to tell you their reasons for purchasing from you will get you hundreds more sales of the same type. Buying motives are 1,000 times more powerful than selling skills. Make that 10,000. And that's so true. And it is something that I recommend to most clients that I work with, that if you have an existing client base, which is fantastic, reach out to them, talk to them, ask them why they work with you, which can be a big scary question, but it can reveal so much useful information. Ask them, why they like you versus working with a competitor, and not in a smarmy way, like don't make it a competition, but why did you choose me? What is it about the way we deliver our product or service that made you decide to come to us? Work with somebody on those questions because they can be really key in getting information or potentially stirring up problems that you don't want to deal with, but it's extremely valuable. So in wrap up, this is a cute little red book. Sales Caffeine, he has all kinds of tools that he offers that he can sell to you. I've signed up for them and I'm really looking forward to reading them and learning more about them. Lots of great tips. It's worth the investment. Because it's 2010, I'll be honest with you, I'm not completely sure. I'm sure it's available. I know it's available on his website. But take a look. He's got some other great books out there that I'm looking forward to finding and reading. Offers all kinds of sales trainings. And again, if you are a small business owner or entrepreneur, you're it, baby. You are the sales team until you can afford to pay somebody. And even then, nobody is going to have as much passion and understanding of your business as you do. So if you want to spend the least amount of time selling, get the most amount of clients, and continue being able to deliver the products and services that you got into business to deliver in the first place, then do yourself a favor, get educated about sales. Jeffrey Gitomer is definitely somebody that I recommend to have a look. He'll give you great ideas, talks about the creative aspect of selling and what have you. Do the work. Do the work or you're not going to be successful. It's as simple as that. And sales is something that I'm going to focus on for the next little while, learning more about sales, different ways to deliver and ways to improve the process, and I'm going to be happy to share that with you. So, Jeffrey Gitomer's Little Red Book of Selling, that's my recommendation for Wise Word Wednesdays today. The 12.5 Principles of Sales Greatness. I say I've already been really inspired. Sat down and recorded a video yesterday because of one of the chapters in here. Going to be changing a few other things, so give it a try. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope you take a look at this book, or at least the website, Gitomer.com, so that you can improve your sales and improve your business. Just know that you have the guts and glory to make your own story. You can visit me on Twitter at MCVPloof. You can visit MCV Communications, which is my website, to see what I'm up to. Instagram, Facebook, there's all kinds of stuff. And from me to you, take a look. There's my sales pitch. Take a look. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.